Hey guys, my name is Alex and welcome to my YouTube channel. For you that don't know me, I'm running the page at AleksWatches on Instagram and I've been doing that for the last 8 years. So in this video I want to get you guys to know me a bit better, who I am and what I do, and also show you my complete watch collection. It started back in 2010. I was about to graduate from high school. I needed a good looking watch to wear for the graduation. So I went to a vintage store in Stockholm and was checking out some watches and fell for this beautiful Omega Seamaster 600 from the 1960s. It's a 34mm in diameter watch. It's gold plated. It's really simplistic in its design. And this one was the one that sparked my interest because I started to appreciate, watchmaking, design, vintage watches, and how a watch that's 50, 60 years old still could tick, and it was a bit fascinating, to be honest. A couple of years later, I realized that this Omega wasn't really suitable for everyday use, so I started to Google around a bit and found my way to a Swedish watch forum called Klocksnack. I needed to find something that was more suitable for daily wear, and eventually my research led me up to buying a Seiko SKX007. That watch further, dragged me down into this world of watches, and I got completely stuck, and I found myself, spending many hours a day just, looking at other people's watches and getting more and more interested in watches in general. And I'd say from 2014, I started my experiencing period. I started to buy watches, I started to sell watches. I tried out many different brands. I tried out many, with today's standards, hyped models like, Royal Oaks, Pateks, various Rolex sports watches like the Hulk, the Batman. And I had the chance to try out all those watches when the market was in a completely different state. At that time, a Hulk would cost you around 7,000 euros. So I was very fortunate to be able to try out all these different kinds of watches when the market price for those kind of watches wasn't like 3 or 4 times its price that it is now. The funny thing is how your taste eventually changes during these years. And after the Omega and the Seiko, I bought my first Rolex, and I was focusing on these kind of more stereotype brands. And after a couple of years, I'd say back in 2018, I found my new favorite brand, which is Cartier. And I've had many different Cartier watches during these couple of years. And in my collection today, I have 2 that I enjoy very much. And I'd like to start with this one, which is the one that I bought. It's actually the second watch I've ever bought new from a store. And it's the Cartier Tank with the burgundy dial. And this is my daily beater. I've had this watch now for about 8 months, and it is my daily beater, and I just love the way it looks, how it wears on the wrist. So this is for me like, when I saw the press release, the photos of this watch, I knew that, okay, it's finally time to acquire something new directly from the store, from Cartier. That hasn't really been the case over the last couple of years. I've mainly been into vintage watches, but this one is, it's something that I really appreciate, and I wear it a lot. I don't consider myself so much as a collector. I'm more of a user, so to say. So my collection is always changing. So many of the pieces you see here today most likely won't be here for the next collection video. Moving on from the Tank, I'd like to talk about the watch I wear second to the most. And it's another Cartier, and this is the Cartier Pasha, or Pasha de Cartier. This is a strange watch, and I wasn't really sure about this watch when I bought it, because of its strangeness, so to say. It's a die watch in yellow gold on a leather strap. I mean, just by saying those words, you can feel how strange it sounds. But I like it. I was actually quite surprised because my initial mindset was on like, I'll try this one now and I'll probably sell it within a couple of months. However, it's still here after 1 year since I bought it. So I must say that the Pasha has made a great impression on me. 38 millimeters in diameter, yellow gold. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is a watch that's just cool, and that's why I like it. Moving on from the Pasha, I'd like to talk about two watches that I own, but I'm pretty sure I'll sell in the near future. And we'll start with this Vacheron Constantin Tonneau, reference number is 31150. This is a beautiful watch, and I like it mainly because of its, elegant shape. It's Tonneau shaped. It's manual winding. It has Breguet numerals, which I love, and it also has a beautiful guilloche dial. However, I don't find myself wearing this one as much as I would like to. So this one, although it's beautiful and elegant, I'm considering to sell in the near future. But still, it's a beautiful watch, and it was my first Vacheron, so it was something different that I enjoyed, at least trying. But yeah, that's how it works for me. If I don't wear it, if I just find it, laying in the safe, then for me it's no reason to keep it, because I want to use all my watches as much as I can. So it's kind of a natural selection, so to say, and that leads me into the next watch, which I also rarely wear because it's been with the watchmaker for like 7 months. So mentally I've already, left it behind and moved on. And it's this beautiful small little Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. I feel like I might give it a second chance now because I really think it's a great looking watch. It's in rose gold, it's in the classic size, which means that it measures 23 millimeters by 38. It's a great looking piece and very elegant, and I like the combination of the black Art Deco dial with the rose gold case. But yeah, as I said, my old flipper mentality still lives within me sometimes, and that's why I consider maybe letting this one go. Moving on to something I rarely wear, but is a piece that I intend to keep for a long time ahead, because it's a watch that you don't come across that often, especially not in this condition. And it's actually a Perpetual calendar from IWC. It's the Romana model. It has the reference number 2050. Perpetual calendar in 18 karat yellow gold. And this is truly a piece I wear for special occasions. So I'd say 360 days out of 365 days it lays safely in the safe. However, every time I take it out, I'm stunned by its beauty. I love the 36 millimeter size. I love the beautiful blue hands. I love the moon face, how it sparkles in light. And as I told you, this one I found new old stock and as a complete set. So this one has barely been worn at all. And the fun thing is that the year indicator still is set to 1996, which is approximately when this watch was released. So at the time of its release, it was the thinnest mechanical perpetual calendar on the market. It cost less than a Datejust 41. So I mean, you get 18 karat yellow gold case, perpetual calendar, manual winding movement for around 10,000 euro, and I think that's insane with the current state of the market. That people pay so much for other types of watches that are mass produced. My hopes are that I'll keep this one for a long time ahead. Moving on from one watch in a beautiful condition to another, I have a really funky Eterna from the mid-80s. It's called the CXXV. It was an anniversary model that they introduced mid-80s, and this one is super funky. As you can see, it has sapphire inlays on the bracelet that plays really cool in light. It's super thin and is powered by quartz movement. And this is a watch that didn't cost me much. I paid around 600 euros. I almost never use it, but every time I take it out from the safe, I get, you know, it puts a smile on my face, and that's why I'll never sell this watch, even though you should never say never. But yeah, I mean, this is so funky and cool. And I mean, yeah, this one is very different, and that's what I like about it. When we are talking about quirky watches, I would like to talk about 3 watches I have here in front of me. And I'll start with something that just recently caught my attention. And it's this one. It's the Softwatch, and it's inspired by Salvador Dali's painting Melting Clocks. This is probably the closest thing I'll ever come to owning a Cartier crash. This is really funky, and it's a love it or hate it kind of thing, I believe. Gold plated case with a quartz movement, black dial with Roman numerals. It's really funky, and it's a conversation starter for sure. I actually found another one, same model but different dial. However, I don't really click that much with this one, so this one is actually already on its way out from the collection. It has a like off-white yellowish dial with diamond hour markers, and I mean, if I choose between these two, I choose the black one every day, and that's why I think that, I mean, I'm never going to use it, so I can probably just sell it instead. These two are funky, but I have another watch here that's even more funky, and fun thing about this watch is that it actually started out as a April Fool's joke. It's the Triwa Combover watch. Depicts somebody famous on the dial. You can probably guess who. And the hour and minute hand is actually the guy's hair that's like blowing in the wind or something. This is a watch I never wear actually, but I think it's a fun piece. It's quirky, and it's something that, can stay in the collection. It didn't cost me much. It cost like 100 euros or something. So, I mean, this is probably perfect for Halloween or something. But it's a fun watch. I like it. But yeah, as I said, never use it. All right, so now we covered most of the collection. I have 2 pieces left that I'd like to talk about. And we'll start with this one. It's from Swedish micro brand Nezumi. This is a mecha quartz chronograph. It's a typical 1970s inspired racing chronograph. For me at least, it's very inspired by the Heuer watches from the 60s and 70s. So this one I don't wear that often, but it's a great piece to have for, those times that you want to wear a good looking watch but don't want to wear something expensive. And yeah, I mean, I think the guys did a great job over there at Nezumi. So if you like these kind of watches, I definitely check them out. Last but not least, we have a piece that I've been looking for to buy for 3 years. I mean, for me, this brand, I know a lot of people hate, mainly because, what I believe at least, is because of a famous YouTuber that loves to hate on this brand. I can understand the critique to some extent, but I think that's more towards the modern watches from the brand. For me, this is probably one of the best watches they released, and it was actually the first watch they released. I've had the same model in both stainless steel and in two-tone, but I've been wanting one in solid 18 karat yellow gold since it first caught my attention. And it's the Hublot MDM Geneve. This is a beautiful watch in my opinion, and it's a watch that it was revolutionary when it was introduced, because back in 1980 when it was introduced, the combination of a gold watch on a rubber strap had never been seen before. So it's historically important, and also it's clean in its design, so it's good looking. And I love the case size of 36 millimeters, and it's thin since it's powered by a quartz movement, and also has a very sleek and elegant rubber strap. So this one I actually acquired last week, and I need to go and buy myself a new rubber strap that's fitted to my wrist. But for me, this is so much bang for the buck, and just a cool looking watch. And this one I can see myself keep for a long time ahead, especially since I've been spending 3 years on chasing one down in good condition. So yeah, guys, basically this is it. This is my watch collection, and I don't like to consider myself as a collector. I'm more of a user, so many of, my collection is always very dynamic. It changes a lot, and since my taste has changed so much in like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I wouldn't be shocked that in 5, 6, 7, 8 years time ahead, I had something completely different on the table in front of me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing my collection. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, and I'd be really glad if you subscribe to the channel as well. Alright guys, until next time, see you.